And as I said, I threw the cards already, so we will just start right off in the beginning. You do have 2 lovers cards. You have the 2 soulmate cards in your throw this month. So this is the 2 of Cups, and cups are about emotions. Cups are about exchanging love, giving love, receiving love, and this feels like that may be your main focus for December. I'm also picking up on this medical insignia. So you may be reeling from a breakup, possibly. Since this crosses you, this is a little bit of a challenge. So you may be dealing with a breakup or kind of the residue of a breakup or the change in relationship. But it does feel like you're healing your heart a bit and you're healing your body through this next month. So what crosses you is the 10 of Swords, and the 10s are endings of things. So it does feel like and this can be gossip, this can be getting hurt by others, people talking about you, false promises. So it does feel like you were very disappointed over the last couple of months. Maybe someone has promised you something and it did not come to fruition. It is right next to the Page of Swords, and pages are about messages, and Swords is news of problems, difficulties. It can also be troubles relating to a young person. So this feels like there was either a false sense of security or someone reneged on a promise is what it's feeling like. That's kind of sent you a little bit reeling. It's probably in the interpersonal venue and not at work. So it does feel like in the love venue. So this could be a family member or actually your lover, someone that you love that is in your heart. But it does feel like you were very disappointed. You're reeling from this. It does not look like it's something that happened just recently. So it does feel like it's a little residue from some disappointment, maybe earlier in the summer or even later than that. The 3 of Pentacles is above you, and 3s are about balance, mind, body, and spirit, collecting information. This is the Pentacle. So Pentacles are earthbound. They represent the earth. So it does look like you are starting to collect information. For many of you, you may have gone back to school or joined a study group, or maybe even collecting information on the web for something. But it does look like you are starting to collect more information to improve your life, Aries. It does feel more like it's on the spiritual bent. So for many of you, it could be going back to church, joining a meditation group, joining yoga, but it does look like you are collecting information and that you're doing the work. You are doing the work, collecting the information to make your life better. But it does look like you have extra responsibilities that you are kind of unsure of how to manage. So collecting information is a great way to resolve that, Aries. And what is in the past here, as I said, these are pages or messages. They can stand for children. And I am feeling that this situation has affected the children that are in that situation. And kids are very resilient, but we must include their feelings when we're making big decisions that affect their lives. So it does feel like that may have been a little problematic, or there may have been some maybe not so nice discussions with your kids or the children involved here. But for the most part, it is really feeling like a message, news of problems or difficulties, and it's right next to here. So did your partner stop paying child support? Was there some kind of weird bill or something that you weren't accustomed to dealing with? So it does look like you're figuring out a way to resolve it, that it is a positive. It will move into the positive. It does look like all your challenges are happening kind of right now and setting things up for the future, Aries. The Fool is right here, and the Fool is actually one of my favorite cards. He is the 0. He is the beginning of things. So You may be right in the beginning of a new adventure for your life, or a new way of living your life. Maybe let go of some bad habits, or released a toxic relationship or two. So the Fool is kind of here it's in the present time, so it does look like you have new beginnings, and that there's some excitement about how the future looks for you. The Fool can also stand for, take heed, don't make the same mistakes twice type of thing. It is right near one of the love cards. So you may be dating someone new, or starting to date someone new, or in a committed relationship that you have agreed on some new practices within that relationship. The Fool also stands for take a leap of faith. You see how he's just dangling right there at the edge? So it means take a leap of faith. Try something new. Push through your fears. Which brings me to the next card. This is what I call the Old, Broke, and Alone card. This is the most fearful card in the deck from my perspective. This is a 5, and 5s are always a challenge, and it just gives us a chance to, make sure that we've dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's before we're moving forward. But it also does stand for don't let your fear stand in the way of your greatness and your happiness. So it does look like some fear is coming up with this change of life, whether it's new job, new partner, new home, or just a new way of living life. It does bring up some fear for you, Aries. So don't be afraid, just walk through it, because it does look like this open window of all the things that you're manifesting are just waiting for you right there. So don't let the fear stand in the way of your greatness, Aries. And that looks like it might be coming up as you continue to process and figure out the balance of life a little bit more in this new space, Aries. The Lovers are right here. They are at the bases. This is the soulmate card. So are you in line for a soulmate? Are you in line for a new soulmate? But it does look like your love space has changed. For those in committed relationships, it does feel like you have come to a new understanding and a new space of growth within your relationship. I don't want to say it's a new honeymoon period, but for many of you it may be. But it does look like some issues have been resolved. And those are for my Aries that are in a committed relationship. For those of you that have not been in a relationship for a while, it does look like you're opening your heart and you're ready to reconnect with someone to share your life with. It is next to the Fool here. It's on the same line as the Fool. So I encourage you to take a chance. Take a chance and try something new, Aries. But it does feel like there's been a big shift in the relationship space. I know many Aries have been kind of closed down over the last couple of months on that heart space, whether they're in a relationship, creating a relationship, or releasing one. So it does look like it's a little lighter space for you than it was during the summertime, and that you are open and willing to receive an important and committed relationship. So what's next here is the Four of Wands, and this is a great card. This is the celebration card. This and it could be as simple as, connecting with your family and friends over the holidays, or it could be a big celebration, or just making time for your friends and family that you haven't in the past. So it's time to put down some of the have-tos and enjoy yourself a little bit more. Reconnect with the friends of your heart, the people of your heart. But it does look like it's time to kind of infuse a little bit more pleasure, not so much work. So just infuse a little bit of pleasure that helps us keep doing the have-tos when we have a smile from a lovely connection with friends. It does look like it's time to float a little bit during this season. You don't have to make any big decisions right now, and if something comes up, think about it a little bit. This card is kind of the take it easy. You may not know what the future brings, but don't worry about it. Just be in the moment and let somebody else drive the bus type of thing. And it's okay to just allow yourself to just float for a little bit. You don't have to make any big decisions. But it does look like there's a sense of protection, maybe a little overprotection. It is kind of in conjunct with this card here, which is, the kind of overly guarding your heart, not looking at something that you really should look at. So take a look at what you're supposed to, but it's okay to collect more information like this before you make a big decision. Anyway, the culmination card here is the Magician, and it does look like you're getting more and more in touch with your magic. You are having more faith in yourself and the journey, not worrying about the things that you cannot control. So it does look like you had a big epiphany over the last couple of months, and that you're being a little kinder to yourself. Pardon me. Reconnecting and recommitting to your own magic and kind of looking at the big picture at life instead of the little teeny things, that get in our way. So it does look like you have made a commitment to yourself and your spirituality, whether that's going back to church, picking up tarot cards, meditating a bit, or just having more faith in yourself. That's what the Magician kind of stands for. The karmic sign, the affinity sign is lighting up for me here. So it does feel like you are much, much more on your karmic path in a positive way than you have been maybe previously. Pardon me. Okay, what's to the side of this is, to the left of this is the 2, and the 2 is always about balance also. But it does look like you're protecting your heart, being a little bit maybe defensive. Since this is here as well as the Lovers and the 2, this may be an ex that you are battling with a little bit, or someone that you're disagreeing with. But it's time to really look at the situation for what it is, not what you hope it to be. And you can move forward and progress from there when you really pull this blinder off and take a look at something. It does look like you are avoiding something or someone for a moment, but you've enacted the Magician here, and you're on the right path. So don't be fearful to bring up some of those conversations that might be a little uncomfortable, but do bring you to resolve. So on the other side of this is the Hermit, and the Hermit, unlike the Four of Pentacles is kind of like avoiding, hiding out. The Hermit is when you go to the mountaintop and you go inside yourself to get all of your answers, because all of our answers reside within. So this is just a validation that it's time for you to really make yourself important and really listen to your heart. Start either putting it out in the world, but it's time to go into yourself to get those answers. And it's kind of a reflection of God within us all. So it's not like you are escaping anything, but you are just creating a special time for you to check in with Spirit, to just get loved up by the God source kind of thing. So you may need to isolate yourself from a little bit, or for a little bit, or even put it in your planner that, this is meditation time, or this is I'm going on a walk in nature time. So you may have to plan for that, because I know that this time of year is pretty darn busy, but it does look like it's something you're ready and willing to embrace. So the Hermit is really going inside and talking to the God of your heart to get some answers. All right, sweet Aries, that is your reading for the month of December. I'm going to throw a couple of these, let's see, what are they? Past life cards. It's another Doreen Virtue. It's a one-word card, and they seem to really bring it on home. Wars and battles. So it does look like this battle that you are currently in the middle of will come to some positive resolution. Don't shy away. It does need to be resolved, but once it is done and over with, you can move on into the new creation. But it does look like something is a little tumultuous in your life. So I'm feeling it might be an ex, child support, divorce papers, could even be a roommate that, you're battling over deposits or something like that. But it does feel, it has an essence of money to it, but don't shy away from the battle. Stand up for yourself, Aries. Okay, and the other one is karmic relationship. All right. So with these two lovers here and the karmic relationship, I would say yes, indeedy. If love isn't already in your heart and in your world, it looks like it is on the way.